People died in a helicopter crash just outside of Los Angeles in Calabasas, California this morning. They were reportedly on their way to a travel basketball game when a fire broke out on the helicopter, causing the crash. Kobe Bryant leaves behind his wife, Vanessa, and 3 daughters.
As you can well imagine, the reaction to this tragic news has been pouring in from around the basketball and sports world. Shaquille O'Neal, a longtime teammate and friend, tweeted this out saying, "There's no words to express the pain I'm going through with this tragedy of losing my niece Gigi and my brother Kobe Bryant. I love you and you will be missed. My condolences go out to the Bryant family and the families of the other passengers on board. I am sick right now." This news hitting so many so hard, including Doc Rivers, head coach of the Clippers.
I don't know. I just don't have a lot to say. The news is just devastating to everybody who know him a long time.
Michael Jordan released a statement. "I am in shock over the tragic news of Kobe and Gianna's passing. Words can't describe the pain I'm feeling. I love Kobe. He was like a little brother to me. We used to talk often, and I will miss those conversations very much. He was a fierce competitor, one of the greats of the game, and a creative force. Kobe was also an amazing dad who loved his family deeply and took great pride in his daughter's love for the game of basketball. Yvette joins me in sending my deepest condolences to Vanessa, the Lakers organization, and basketball fans around the world."
Just shocking news today about Kobe Bryant, his daughter, 7 other people losing their lives in that helicopter crash. Obviously, this is going to hit the basketball community very hard. Many wonder how they could even play games today. It must have been so difficult for everyone involved. And kudos to our broadcast crew who are there
R.I.P. to
today
the Black
and
Mamba.
professional and on an emotional day.
It's sad, man.
Mm-hmm. And the players involved in the basketball game as well, which we can look back on. As far as the stats are concerned, it was a decent basketball game, but obviously a very difficult day for all those involved. Let's go back to San Antonio. Here's Matt and Leo. Well, sure. Outside of the Staples Center via helicopter as Lakers fans and Los Angelinos gather to remember Kobe Bryant, place a memorial outside of Staples Center where Kobe Bryant was a legend on that floor for so many years for the LA Lakers. I think as a lot of people reminisce about Kobe and his career, and I listen to so many different people talk, whether they played with him or been fans or they've watched on this side of the media, just having been in the studio, I keep hearing the same thing over and over again, him being a champion, just this relentless work ethic that inspired so many people, whether they actually played with him or simply covered the game. He really made you want to be better at what you did.
And he was in the second act of his life and doing so many things outside of basketball as well. We will try to cover some of those things throughout the show. In the meantime, in the day of social media, there were so many conflicting reports early on as everyone jumped on the story. It wasn't until 5:30 Eastern time that the LA County Sheriff's Department held a news conference to release their official statement.
My name is Daryl Osby, and I'm the fire chief of the Los Angeles County Fire Department. I want to thank you for coming here to today's briefing of the Willow incident. Today, shortly before 10 o'clock at 9:47 a.m., the Los Angeles County Fire Department received a 911 call of a potential helicopter down in a brush fire at the intersection of Los Verges Road and Willow Bloom Street in the city of Calabasas in unincorporated Los Angeles County. Upon arrival, our firefighters discovered approximately a quarter-acre brush fire that resulted from a crash on the hillside. The Los Angeles County Fire Department initial response was 15 pieces of apparatus and 56 personnel that consisted of paramedics, engine company, heavy rescue, truck company, hand crews, and aircraft, and a chief officer to oversee the incident. Upon arrival, during the incident, and upon arrival of the Sheriff's Department, our two respective departments entered into unified command to handle this incident. Our firefighters on scene indicated that there was a debris field and steep terrain with a quarter-acre brush fire that was occurring at the time. Our firefighters hiked in to the accident site with their medical equipment and hose lines to extinguish the stubborn fire, as it included the brush fire, debris from the helicopter, and the fire also included magnesium, which is very hard for our firefighters to extinguish because magnesium reacts with oxygen and water. In addition to our firefighters hiking into the incident, we had one helicopter flying to the incident with firefighter paramedics on board. Those paramedics were hoisted down to the incident early into the incident. They did a search of the area for survivors. Unfortunately, all the survivors on board were determined to have been perished. Firefighters and hand crews worked to extinguish the fire while carefully preserving the incident for investigation. Currently, this investigation is still ongoing. I would like to turn this over to my sheriff to continue the press briefing.
Thank you, Chief Osby. Personnel from Los Hills Sheriff's Station responded to the scene of the crash site and assisted the fire department, and we've established a containment area, and now our Aero Bureau has a handle on traffic or aircraft accidents. However, when there's a fatality, then it switches to the National Transportation Safety Bureau, the NTSB, and the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA. FAA is already on scene and assisting. We're waiting the arrival of the coroner's office to assist in the recovery of the remains. As the chief indicated, there were no survivors. We have a manifest that indicates that there was 9 people on board the aircraft, the pilot plus 8 individuals. There is wide speculation of who the identities are. However, it would be entirely inappropriate right now to identify anyone by name until the coroner has made the identification through their very deliberative process, and they've made notifications to next of kin. And it'd be extremely disrespectful to understand that your loved one was perished and you learn about it from TMZ. That is just wholly inappropriate, so we're not going to be going there. We're going to wait till the coroner does their job, and we're assisting the families of those who believe they've been impacted, and it's a tough process. And our hope goes out to all of the members that were on board, all the family of everyone was on board this aircraft, and God bless their souls. So
you can just imagine this helicopter going down, and he know that it's going down, and all he can do is just hold his daughter close to him and do nothing more than pray. I mean, he's in a situation where he is helpless. Damn.
That is our belief, yes.
What a way to die when you can't do nothing to stop
Kobe
it
Bryant
or
coached
prevent
his daughter,
it.
Gianna, in basketball. He mentioned that his daughter would carry on his legacy in basketball. He was viewed as a rising star in the women's basketball world.
Well, Kobe Bryant was one of the most recognizable athletes in the world, and his death is a tragic loss to basketball. The NBA did not cancel this afternoon's Rockets-Nuggets game, and the news of Kobe's death hit hard. Heartbroken players, coaches, and fans mourning the loss of one of the game's all-time greats, and of course also his daughter, and 7 other people were also on the helicopter who lost their lives. Just reaction from all corners right now. Shock, disbelief, just totally surreal to hear this news. I was watching college game, and all of a sudden this news broke with Kobe Bryant's face. I thought, oh, they must be talking about LeBron passing him on the all-time scoring list, and then just to hear the tone of the anchor and know that this was something completely different.
Well, joining us on the phone now to give us his reaction to the tragic news today, former Toronto Raptor Alvin Williams. Alvin, thank you so much for joining us. I know it's a very difficult day. Where were you when you heard the news?
Stress, and that's part of his legacy, and that's something that's going to remain strong. As you look at a basketball accolade.
Alvin, you had quite the unique connection with Kobe, obviously being from Philadelphia. If there's one thing, what did you admire most about Kobe?
He inspired. I look at me being older than Kobe, and just seeing past interviews where he would pay homage to the older people, and sometimes he would mention my name, and it was always so good. But little did he know, as he got older, he inspired me. After basketball, life after basketball. His hard work, his dedication, his commitment, things like that really helps you when you finish playing basketball, where you learn how to transfer all of the things you learned in basketball, all of the things that help you be successful in basketball, to your next stage of life, to your next phase of life, and just seeing how he looked like it was seamless for him. And I'm sure it wasn't, but he made it look like that. It helped out a lot for me and personally. It helped out for me, even though I retired much, earlier than he did. He was an inspiration, and he had so much more inspiring to do. He wasn't finished. You guys mentioned it. He's winning Oscars, he's writing kids' books, he's doing business things. He's doing so much. He's tutoring his kids in basketball and other kids, the players around the NBA, the younger players. He's taking time out to mentor them. So he was doing so much, man, and it's just so unfortunate that his inspiration, right now, it's been cut short, but it'll keep going on. But that's the one thing that strikes home, because he wasn't finished inspiring a lot of people.
He absolutely was living life to the fullest, absolutely, in that second half after